Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping video. So this is for the week of July 7th through the 13th, and I feel like in my lineup for July I had something different pulled, but I cannot remember what it was. So that means you probably don't remember what it was either. If anybody for some reason remembers what I pulled for this week, let me know down below. But I decided to switch that out. I'm pretty sure I switched it out for leftovers from this carnival kit from Apple Blossom Prints. I didn't go to a carnival or anything like that this week, but I thought it fit going to like a little get together we helped out with for alumni from the university I used to attend that was local. So we didn't have carnival games or cotton candy or any of that, but I just felt like this fit the vibe a little bit better. Other than that, nothing too interesting happened this week. Not to, dismiss my whole video before it even gets started, but it was just kind of a quiet summer week. I think our state fair did open this weekend, but we didn't end up going to the state fair this year. We went last year, which I think is what I used this kit for initially, but it's kind of one of those things where if other people invite me to go, I'll go and just buy tickets for pretty affordable. My husband gets them discounted through work, which is a pretty common thing around here. Actually, I used to get discounted tickets at one of the jobs that I had, but yeah, and walk around and just kind of hang out with people. But this year that didn't happen, and it's interesting because we actually had really good weather for the 2 weeks that the state fair was open this year. Sometimes it's a toss up. It's like it's either really hot or normal. So this year it was normal, so that's good for people who did go to the fair. But as we've established, I did not. So I liked with this kit, I think this was pretty common with Apple Blossom Prints kits. She usually matched the date covers to one strip of the bottom washi, and so that was nice to kind of have that mirroring at the top and bottom of the spread. And then I had a couple of these pattern boxes. You'll eventually see me layer some deco over the pattern boxes just because they did look a little bit plain, at least for my liking. But I really did love this bottom washi pattern as well as the pattern that you're going to see on the date covers. And then I color blocked this kit last year, I'm pretty sure, so that meant that I couldn't color block it this year, especially with the glitter headers that I had left over, although there's nothing saying that you have to use glitter headers. In fact, sometimes when I have really busy weeks, I'm like, I really should just do one row of glitter headers because it does take space that could be committed to actually marking plans. But of course, during really exciting weeks, I also want to use like as many stickers as possible, so then I do want to use like all the glitter headers. But the next time I have like a busy travel week or something like that, or just a busy week in general, I might cut it back to just like one row of glitter headers, and that'll save me a ton of space. Not like a ton, but it'll save some space for sure. And then I only had 6 full boxes left from the kit, so that meant on Monday and Saturday I decided not to use a full box. I think I was initially going to use 2 full boxes in the sidebar because I didn't have anything special to mark in the sidebar besides my habits and my meals. But then I think I forgot about that, put a full box down on one of the days instead. So that's fine. You'll see me fill in with like a half box and some deco in the sidebar. Wasn't like, a perfect fully used kit type of week, but there were still so many stickers left from this kit that I'm like, yeah, we're going to use the leftovers. So here's where I'm filling in with some of my deco. You'll see me put a little bit of deco above the July script in the top left-hand corner, and then the rest of the deco will just be put over a half box eventually in the sidebar. So because I had the date covers, I didn't really need to fill up that space with deco. Anyway, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do date covers and deco, depending on the size of the deco in the kit. But this week I decided to use the deco more as a way just to fill in some blank spots than anything else because I didn't have a ton of full boxes. I also didn't have any habit trackers left, so I had to go into my leftovers collection, which is totally fine. So I pulled in like this yellow color that was one of the main colors in the labels, and then I pulled in a lot of lavender this week. It wasn't like an explicit color in the kit, like it wasn't one of the 4 committed colors, but there was a lot of lavender, especially in the pattern boxes, and then in the bottom washi and the date cover pattern. So I wanted to bring that out. And also I don't feel like I get to use my purple or my lavender stickers a lot just because it's not one of my favorite colors. I know for some people like purple is like their favorite color of all time. For me, it's like, it depends on the situation. So I often don't buy kits that have a lot of purple in them. So that means when I have like multicolor sheets of functional stickers or character stickers, the purple is like the last thing I use. This is so funny that I mentioned this though, because the nails I have on in this video are purple. So that goes against what I just said. But yeah, a lot of times I don't use purple. It's just not a color I gravitate towards. We all have our favorites, you know? So the habits I tracked this week were journaling, which I was able to do every single day this week, and flossing, which I did almost every single day this week. I skipped like one day, and it's just because we had morning plans. And then I pulled in a this week header from my leftovers collection, and that is to go along with the weekly checklist for my dinners for this week. Getting into the day by day, on Monday I was grumpy, and I cannot remember why, other than, I don't know, I just have mood swings, especially in the summer. I've had a lot of like moods this year, like bad moods. I don't know really why. I think I'm just like stressed about where the planet is going. I don't know. Let me know if you can relate. So I'm going to mark that with a really old Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I did do some yoga, so I have a Sweet Ava's paper cat for that. And then I gave Clover some time with her catnip banana toy because really I should go and buy a second one. The thing is, as far as cat toys go, it's kind of an expensive one. And by that I mean it's like $15 or $20. I need to buy a second one because anytime I bring it out for Clover, it's supposed to be Clover's toy. Evie like comes and steals it and they get in a fight. Like it's kind of bad. It's really funny because Clover as a little baby did not react to catnip because I guess when they're like under a year old, they don't often react to catnip. But then after she turned a year old, she started reacting to it, and both my cats are very reactive to it, and so it makes them a little fighty with each other. So I have to keep them separated when they have anything with catnip in it. So my life revolves around these cats, I swear. It doesn't. It's just like I manage their relationship a lot. So anyway, I gave Clover some time with that because Evie was off napping somewhere. Evie naps way more than Clover. That's the difference between a 7-year-old cat and a 2-year-old cat. Wait, how old is Evie? Almost 8, we think. We don't know for sure with Evie. Moving on, I filmed and voiced over A Plan With Me, and then I went outside to read a little bit. I was reading An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, so both those stickers are from Sweet Ava's paper. And then I was just really, really happy to see my husband this day. I think it was part of like being in a bad mood in the morning. And then when he came home, I was really happy to see him. So that's from Beneva Creations. I played with Clover again because she had so much energy this day. She just has some days where like she's way more playful than usual, so that's fun. I was watching Great American Baking Show. That piece of cake was from Wonton and a Million. And then I'm not going to go into the details of this because it's not my business. The people involved know that I know about this, but basically my husband came home and was telling me about what he calls chisme. If he's Mexican American, so that's what he calls it. But basically like gossip. So anyway, the people affected know that I know, but obviously I'm not going to blast people's information on the internet. That would be really uncalled for, but that was happening. So that devil and angel on the shoulder Molly is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Tuesday, the first thing I marked was yoga, so that's from Sweet Ava's paper again. And then also from Sweet Ava's paper, I marked that I panicked because I couldn't find Evie anywhere. She was like really deeply under the bed, and like later in the day I kind of figured out why, but for some reason she was just like hiding way more than usual this day, and I was like, I haven't opened any doors to the outside. Where the hell is this cat? So I found her eventually, but I was like, Evie, you can't do that to me. Then I filmed and voiced over Another Plan With Me, and then I was doing some research into Puerto Rico because we're interested in visiting soon. If you know anything about Puerto Rico, let me know. We have some people who we know who are from there or who have spent time there, so we're going to ask them too. Try to be conscious of these things when I travel, just to be respectful to the people who actually live there and not just the tourist industry. But yeah, did some research on that. And then way later in the day, Evie had the most giant hairball. So like she was sitting on one of our kitchen chairs and then got up, let out this huge cry, and then ran out to a different room and then produced the most disgusting hairball I've ever seen. So that was probably why she was hiding earlier, is she was probably trying to like get that up. I've been trying to brush her a lot more. We have these Cheru treats that are supposedly hairball control. She's just a fluffy girl, and especially in the summer, she sheds way too much. So anyway, after that, I marked brushing the cats because I'm like, we got to get this fur off of you so you don't ingest it all the time. I felt bad that she like seemed to be really upset about it, which is kind of how it goes. She doesn't get hairballs that often. Like it's maybe like half a dozen times a year, but sometimes the ones she produces, I'm like, how was that existing inside of you? That's disgusting. Sorry if that's gross. That's just life when you have a cat. Clover, like I've never seen her cough up a hairball, but she's a short hair. I think one time she coughed up a little tiny, like basically like little owl pellet of fur. That's it. Wednesday, I marked working out. I was anxious for some reason. Don't know why. So then I sat around and organized all of my papers from the previous semester because they were just all sitting in a box, neglected. And I really needed to sort out like what scratch paper I can donate to the math center, what stuff that I need to keep for a year past when I had those students, what's like extra copies that I can use the next semester, what can go in recycling. So I tackled that this day. So this file folder is going to be from Sweet Ava's paper. I brushed the cats again. I watched Last Week Tonight, and then I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this because this was also gross, but basically the cats found a bunch of bugs around our garbage can. I know that sounds disgusting. I swear we're clean people. It's just during the summer, sometimes the trash sits maybe one day too long and things happen. So I'm not going to go into details about that. That's all you need to know. I'm sure that's all you want to know. Nobody needs to know more about that. But because the cats were my cats help me identify pest control and other weird problems in the house. I guess that's how they pay their rent. So in the process of cleaning out the whole area that was affected, I found a couple of these fruit themed mice toys that I had bought for them a while ago. And like, I had kept like half of them put away just to like switch things up every now and then. So I gave them the kiwi themed one and the lemon themed one. And Evie especially seemed more enthused about playing after getting introduced to a new toy. So sometimes she just gets bored. She's older, you know. The zest of life is getting old for her, I guess. I don't know. So when I do introduce a new toy, she actually gets more enthused about playing instead of just being lazy. Thursday, the first thing that I marked was laundry, and then I had a job application to do. So I have this really cute resume sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I think I've used up almost all of these at this point, so I kind of want to get more. Although, hopefully, I don't have to keep job hunting for now. It's something I do during the summer, just to see what full-time opportunities are potentially out there. It was really smoky and hot this weekend. So there was like a fire way, way, way up north, not affecting us at all, like in the Cascades, I think. But it did, no, near Shasta. Is that part of the Cascade mountain range? It might be. Maybe, whatever. But the drift smoke was coming down our way. And then Cafe with Anna you'll see this in my next haul whenever I end up posting that. She was so sweet, and I had ordered a bunch of kits from her, and she sent the Puerto Rico kit of hers. With kind of some well wishes of hoping that I get to Puerto Rico, which I thought was very funny because I had just been doing some research on that trip a few days earlier. I think I had mentioned it in a video that I was looking into going. So I was obviously going to buy that kit anyway, but I do really, really appreciate that. And then I was checking, I have what I like to call a tech device graveyard. I have some at least one computer that like I need to figure out how to get the files off of it and then how to wipe it so no one can hack my information and then get rid of it. And I have a really, really old MacBook that would be the easiest thing to do with that. So that is from the sticker party, I think. What I need to do, and I'm not going to do this until I get paid again, or until I get another paycheck, I should say, in September, I need to get like another external hard drive, basically dump the files from that old computer onto that hard drive and then wipe that old Mac so that we can donate it or recycle it or something. It's perfectly usable. The only problem is that it's so old that it can't update with any of the latest iOS for security reasons. So I kind of hate that with computers sometimes. It's like the hardware is actually still good. Like Macs last a long time, but the software can't be updated anymore. So I think it's just going to have to be like a recycling situation, which is fine. Then I brushed the cats again, and then I was watching a bunch of Mythical Kitchen videos. So I have like this soup ladle sticker from Wonton in a Million because, I don't know, it's a cooking show. If I don't mention where a sticker is from, you can ask me, but I think I use a lot of stickers from the same shops a lot of the time. So you can probably figure out where it's from. But if you do ever have any questions, just let me know down below. Friday, my husband worked from home. I guess he had to go into the office on Thursday. That's been happening a lot more frequently. And honestly, he's been saying, and I feel the same way too. Like we could not, if we had to, we could, but like we don't really work well in an environment where you have to fully work from home. Like the couple of years surrounding the pandemic where we were both at home a lot working, we were very crabby a lot of the time. I'm gonna be honest. Like I think we like our current situation with both of our jobs where we have things we have to do in person, but then there's other things we can do from home. So having that hybrid schedule is really nice. But that's just the nature of both of our work. So it's not like we chose that. It's just how it is. Oh, you can see I already did the next week because I jumped ahead and was super excited to do the week after this. So that's going to be a really exciting concert week. Then I was just trying to relax, and then we found out our air conditioner was leaking again, even though it had supposedly been cleaned out and repaired the week before. So luckily my husband was able to take care of getting someone out here through our landlord, and they fixed it, and it hasn't bothered us since this date, and it's almost been a month since this date. So that's good. But I was just stressed because I had a medical appointment that I had to go to. So I'm like, and also it was going to be hot this weekend, whereas the last time it broke or like was leaking, it wasn't that hot, so we didn't need it that much. But this weekend I'm like, we're going to need it because it's going to be hot. So yeah. Anyway, then I went to my appointment. It went pretty well. We scheduled some follow-up appointments. We tried out a different Japanese restaurant in town. The people were super nice, but the food was not very fresh, so I don't think we'll be going back there. And then I was just kind of upset with myself about some things. Not going to really go into that. My mental health in July wasn't great, and it's just, I don't know, summer's not a good time for me, especially when I have downtime. I feel like I should be doing more, and yet I don't want to do more because it's hot. It's kind of dumb of me, but that's how my brain works. Sorry, I'm like picking at my nails. Hopefully you can't hear that. I watched some Parks and Rec at the end of Friday. Saturday, my husband got us some treats from a really nice bakery here in Sacramento. It's called Faria. Check it out if you're in the area. Their almond croissant is so good. And then I was watching Kitnish Jess's live stream. I think this is where she started doing Infinity Nikki, which is not a game I've played or am at all familiar with, but I don't know, it's a fun way to chill on a Saturday morning. I brushed the cats, and then I filmed another plan with me. So everything at the top of Saturday, except for the donut, is going to be from Sweet Ava's paper. And then I used this giant old fox and cactus sticker of a girl reading inside with the air conditioner blasting on her because I was reading more of my book, An Abundance of Catherine's. I had read outside on Monday because I wanted to get outside, but it was just a little too hot. So I did some indoorsy activities this day because it was hot this week, as I've said about half a dozen times already. Sorry. Then my husband and I played Mario Party Superstars, and we did the co-op version. I don't know, I just felt like playing a game this night, so I marked that with a Princess Peach sticker from Sweet Ava's paper. I don't really game that much, especially because I'm not particularly good at it, but every now and then I like it's easier to play a video game with my husband on the Switch than it is to set up a board game. And we honestly only have like one or two board games that you can play with like two people. So yeah, it's just easier to do that. So that was nice. And I picked Peach because she matched the kit. And then I watched more last week tonight. Sunday, we went to that welcome party for new students at Cal, but it was for like Sacramento residents who got into Cal. So my dad, I got the invite too because I'm like on the Alumni Association's list, but my dad kind of, he was volunteering with it, so he did a follow-up with me and my husband because we're both alumni as well of, oh, do you want to go to this? So we did. We ended up helping set up. My youngest sister, who just graduated from there, was also there, and my brother, who was not an alumnus but was in the area, also showed up. And he's a UC alumni. It's just he went to San Diego instead of Berkeley. So anyway, I was teasing him, but at the same time, I'm like, you're technically part of the alumni family because it's all the same system. So yeah, I used this really cute like picnic sticker from Sweet Ava's paper. I don't think we had lemonade, but I don't know. There were a lot of picnic tables. I mostly spent the time chatting with my siblings, but I did help like set up name tags, especially with writing them because I have semi decent handwriting and can do that pretty quickly. And then we ended up taking home a bunch of leftovers from this party. Like they kept it was basically like a unofficial auction with no money exchanged for like the college students who were still there. And the former head of the alumni association thought it was so funny that like he's like, you guys are about to be in college and you want like vegetables and stuff. And I'm like, dude, they understand the economy. He's like, you should be eating like junk food. No, junk food's cheap. Broccoli is expensive, okay? So yeah, we ended up taking home like a bag of broccoli and a whole bag of chopped up watermelon that I was really excited about. So I ended up marking that with layering a plate of broccoli from Wonton and a Million and a Molly eating watermelon from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. We were very much like, because my husband and I are in our 30s, we're 10 years out of school already, like we have money to buy food. We were trying to like get the students to take as much stuff as possible. But we ended up with a couple of things that people weren't as keen about. So anyway, after that I was anxious. I don't really remember why, but that might just be my current state of being. I played with Clover and then I watched more Last Week Tonight. And then I moved back over to the sidebar because I still had a little bit of open space. So I just filled that in with a half box as well as some cute deco that was left from the kit. So that's how I filled in the space there. But yeah, pretty quiet week. The next couple of Plan With Me's after this one are going to be a little busier. And I'm going to mostly talk about the concerts that I went to in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's what you can look forward to. This is what's left of the kit. I already put this stuff in my leftovers binder that you saw in my August lineup at this point. So yeah, that's how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you've been up to this summer. How do you feel about summer? Like, do you like it? Do you kind of hate it the way that I do? I don't hate it. It's just like, I don't know. I would rather have time off in the fall, but obviously working in education, that's not an option for me. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a good week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.